After watching the Lord of the Rings movies my whole life and reading The Hobbit as a teenager, I went and read for the first time the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I finished it, The Return of the King, and I just have to give praise to the movies for the most part, for staying true to the books for the most part. Of course, they left things out in the movies that are in the books. Right off the top of my head, Tom Bombadil in the first book. But Peter Jackson's vision, I think, aligned quite well compared to what it could have been with other directors. So I think he would have made Tolkien proud for the most part, considering their movies. This is actually, Lord of the Rings is one big book. It's one gigantic book. So they separated it in three parts. Of course, the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and the Return of the King, the third book. So there's three books. And after reading The Return of the King, I have to say that my personal favorite part of the book is the beginning, the Fellowship of the Ring. Those first few books and chapters, that is the part I enjoy the most. It's because the gang is together with Frodo, Sam, Gandalf, Boromir, Legolas, Aragorn, Gimli, the whole lot's together, that quest. And so the pacing is kind of slow for some people, but the description of the Shire in the beginning, the Black Riders were truly not only, something suspenseful in the books, but suspenseful in the first movie. So I'm so glad that I finished the trilogy. Where would I rank it compared to The Hobbit? I enjoy them both. I mean, The Hobbit's perfect, I think, for a little bit younger of a reader, more for children, but I think it holds up well today. I think overall, The Hobbit's one of my favorite stories of all time. So if you've never read the Lord of the Rings trilogy and you need something to read, or you're like, I always wanted to read that trilogy, I just haven't had the time or whatever, I think you owe it to yourself to check out the trilogy, especially if you like the movies. The books are great, Tolkien's great, and I did it. I can honestly say, I can compare the movies to the books. And, I was just thinking today, now, without getting into huge spoilers, if you've already watched the movies, you already know I'm about to talk about, when they mention the ring being thrown to the fire, with Gollum, in the book, he slips, misses a step, and goes into Mount Doom, right? It all felt kind of rushed near the end, like all that quest, all that buildup. And in the books, Tolkien bypasses a lot of the battle sequences. A lot of the battle scenes and sequences are all bypassed because I guess he assumes the reader's intelligent enough to come up with that creative battle and what it must be like in their minds. What I like about the movies is now I can picture what the characters could be like.